The Ace family was recently forced to admit that their mansion was in foreclosure, leading them to abandon their dream home. In a recent video, Austin and Catherine McBroom listed the purposes behind their verdict to leave their $10 million mansion by illustrating structural problems with the house. They also claim to have bought their future home, which they will move into. In the latest Ace family video, which garnered over 3 million views, Catherine McBroom claimed that the contractor robbed the family. She added that they encountered various problems in the double mansion, including endless leaks in the walls, poorly fitting doors, and cheap furniture and lockers, among other structural problems. After months of denying rumors of foreclosure, it appears like the Ace family has officially lost their home. Now, we all know that the Ace family lives a life that seems to be made for billionaires. They have private jets, fancy vacations, every luxurious car you can imagine, and a huge mansion in 2019. They bought not one, but two villas side by side and paid for an extremely expensive renovation to link them together. The cost of doing so was enormous. It was estimated around a total of $10 million, and they took out a loan against their business for $9 million. Obviously a very expensive house, and in our opinion the price is too much for a house. They are just a family of 5 people, and that's why there is no reason that they should require 2 expensive villas. Just looking at other homes in Anaheim Hills, it looks like they could have gotten a nice mansion for a quarter of the price they paid. It's the same thing we saw with Jeffree Star. He bought this huge mansion for one person, and within a year, he realized how stupid it was. Unfortunately, the Ace family didn't notice the upcoming troubles in time, which are now taking away their house from them. A few months ago, a document began circulating on the internet, stating that the Ace family's home would be foreclosed. He claimed that they owed more than $8 million in unpaid mortgage payments, and that they had to pay them back as soon as possible to keep their home. When the news broke on the internet, it was big news for the criticism. Austin and Catherine described themselves as living an extremely wealthy lifestyle, and it's quite hard to think that they couldn't afford the mortgage payments. When this document first got out, Austin and Catherine were seen denying the claims and were blaming their haters. Austin responded to the document on Instagram, which stated, "Stop calling on me and my family's name. Ain't nobody getting evicted. Ain't nobody moving. Stop believing everything you see," the haters say on the internet. "If we were moving, we definitely would have informed the world and made a whole YouTube video about it." Even Catherine called this legal document a false verdict when she was stopped and questioned about it by the paparazzi. She even denied it to her own fans on Snapchat. When one fan asked her whether her house is being put up for auction, and "Why are you guys acting like nothing?" Catherine replied by saying, "No, my love, I have not spoken about any of this publicly, but if I did, I think most of the hateful people that wish us pain and failure would feel very stupid for ever assuming the worst. It's just not fair how people can assume that I don't pay my bills or something. That's so far from my character, and much more. I think people forget that we built our house and that we're in a pandemic. Most cities are closed and unable to get permits. Not everything in the world has to do with money. Many people work from home. Now it's like we're living in a different world due to this pandemic. The saddest part of this is that they're actual people losing their homes with nowhere to go, and to see people make fun of the idea of losing a home is sick." According to Catherine, their financial condition is mainly because of the pandemic. We don't really know how that makes much sense, because the court that proceeded to uphold her foreclosure seemed to be proceeding smoothly. On October 19, a court hearing was held to auction off the Ace's family home. Hollywood Fix actually came to this hearing because he was out to explore and got everything on camera. Honestly, at first when we saw this video, we thought it was like a parody or something because we saw everyone sitting in the middle of a park. But that's actually a legit thing. The city of Paoa, California has officially auctioned off the Ace family home. They called his home address and started making an offer for $9.7 million. People in the audience joked about the price of the house because it was ridiculous. Even the woman who held the auction said she has never auctioned such an expensive house in the area. Obviously, no one in that park had $9.7 million to deliver for this house, so it was officially handed over to the lender, meaning the house is no longer under the name of the Ace family. They are not owners, which means that they currently live in a house that they do not pay for, and that is not theirs. According to inside reports, it could actually take a long time and possibly a lengthy legal process to physically remove them. Insiders wrote that the McBrooms no longer own the house. However, due to California's foreclosure law, 5 RSI finance companies are expected to file an eviction lawsuit to force them to vacate the property. Therefore, they will not be evicted if they leave voluntarily or pay their residual debt. Otherwise, a lengthy legal eviction process could take place. So that means Austin and Catherine still have time to raise money to keep their house, and people think that's exactly what they were hoping for. Austin and Catherine are in the midst of some pretty big lawsuits right now. One of the Austin companies that held the boxing match was sued for $100 million for failing to honor contracts. Many YouTubers and TikTokers attended that game and nobody got paid for their presence. Catherine is also in the center of a serious legal battle. Her skincare business partners are suing her via Gateway 1212. They are claiming that she is trying to take over the business while stopping them from making a profit when she realized how well the line was working. Some people think Austin and Catherine are trying to make it look like they are bankrupt and have no money to try and remove some of their liability for these lawsuits. Other people think this is just another example of YouTubers living way beyond their means to try to maintain some kind of image and lose everything in the process. Even though Austin and Catherine make a good amount of money, most people can only dream of spending it as nothing. The amount of business plans they have made, the cars, the houses, the vacations, they live as if they were in Kylie Jenner's tax bracket. It's honestly about greed, because they could have had a nice mansion in the same area, but with the intention of getting a bigger house. They are facing such deep troubles. Well, here are some comments that were left under the courtroom video. A user wrote, "They'll never say that they got evicted. Catherine will just say that there was bad energy and vibes from the house." Another one said, "Not sure why they lied about this when it's all public record. They could have just not commented on it." But both Austin and Catherine claimed it was all rumors, and their house wasn't in foreclosure. I hope this humbles them, and they are able to make better financial decisions for their children's future. The third wrote a deep note stating that this is what happens when you live above your means. Driving cars they can't afford. For buying a house, they need a commercial loan to scam their subscribers. Charity basketball game where Austin kept the money, hold car giveaways where the car is never given to the winner, and failing to pay the companies that they partnered with, the true creators of the Ace Family app and the 1212 Gateway. Honestly, that's the only sad thing about this situation. The children still do not understand this kind of thing and will be forced to leave the family home. Obviously, you'd never want to see anyone lose their home and go through a foreclosure, but at the same time, we're really sorry they'll likely go from a $10 million home to a $5 million home. Who knows if they will end up moving? It is entirely possible that this is all a ruse due to their lawsuits. Hollywood Fix also met James Charles and asked him about foreclosure. He's a good friend of McBroom's, so people thought he might know something, but he said that he has no idea about the ongoing drama. Alright, that's it for today. We will see you in our next video. Thanks for watching.